Welcome back, everyone, to the FloTrack podcast. I'm Kevin Sully, joined by Gordon Mack. World Championship week is here. Gordon and I will be on the ground for the first day of action on Friday from Eugene. But before we do that, we got a preview today on the women's events. And then coming Wednesday, we have a preview for the men's events. Also, some breaking news late last night about the Oregon coaching job, which we will talk about as well. Gordon, good morning. How are you?
Doing good. I think there's not much to talk about. We should just get right into it. Jerry Schumacher, University of Oregon. Thoughts? Did you see this coming? What are your thoughts on it? Is it a good hire? What's going to happen to the Bowerman Track Club? What's going to happen to Ben Thomas and the other distance coaches there? It seems kind of wild, but we're going to see Jerry Schumacher, who rarely does interviews, all of a sudden now be the head of the most prominent university track and field program in the country.
Well, in that 30 seconds, you touched on seven different topics, all of which are incredibly relevant, ranging from how is this going to work in terms of logistics of his pro obligations? What's he going to be like as the head of the most visible program? I was a bit surprised. I agreed with you that he was probably on that short list early on, but to see it actually happen is a bit surprising. Now, if you take a step back, makes sense. He's a Nike guy. He's a big name, obviously a distance coach. Oregon has history and tradition in the distance, but there's college and or coaching and non-coaching stuff that makes this pretty interesting. On the coaching side of things, hasn't coached in college since 2008. We all know him as the Bowerman Track Club coach, coached at Wisconsin. Before that, there's probably some athletes out there, some potential recruits who have no recollection of him coaching in college. Their only memory of him is of the Bowerman Track Club. So it's an interesting situation where you have a guy who's established in the pro ranks going back to college, which also brings on the recruiting side of things, which is a ton of work, right? When you're a professional coach, do you have to recruit? It may be a little bit, bring the big name in and talk to him for a little bit, but it's not the year-round grind that is recruiting. Now he'll have assistants, obviously. I'm assuming Shalane Flanagan is going to come along with him as well. So he's not going to have to do it alone, but it is just a different type of job. He also coaches the Bowerman Track Club. It's my understanding that's going to continue as well. So how does he balance those two things? That's not a small group. It's not one or two pros on the side. It's an established brand name within the sport. And my final point on the coaching side of this, and I'll let you get in here before we touch on the non-coaching stuff. The pressure is going to be high to win. It's not as if this program is in the doldrums. They've won national titles very recently. They've pulled off back to back to back to back titles very recently. This program is positioned to win. This program has been winning. So it's not as if there's going to be a long time to figure stuff out and get things back to the way they were. This is already a program that I think is expected to win. This coaching change did not happen with a program that was at a low point. Sure, they weren't solid this year on the men's and women's side outdoors, but I mean, you go back just a year ago, and they were one of the top programs in the nation. A couple people stay instead of going pro. Maybe they're right back in that same spot. But on the coaching side, those were the major points that I thought were noteworthy when looking at this move.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the. I mean, we previewed like who would be a good, great candidate for this job. We were looking at Dilgy Taylor of BYU, Mike Smith, NAU, and then Jerry Schumacher of Bowerman. Like that was what we looked at as the big three, especially on the distance side. We didn't really see any sprint-based coaches that really were going to be ready for that job because they kind of all had good situations, especially in the SEC and at Jack Floral and Texas. Carol Smith Gilbert, she just got to Georgia. The odds of her uprooting her life from USC to Georgia to Oregon, kind of hard for that to happen. Mike Holloway in
Mhm.
Florida, he's the goat there. He has no reason to travel 3,000 miles to the opposite side of the country. So it was looking like it was going to be a distance based coach. And they got arguably the best distance coach in the country. He has what, 5 US athletes competing at world championships, and then add in a few more international athletes. Uh, the guy knows how to coach distance running, knows how to get the best, and he has experience with college, but he left that. He left college because he wanted to be in the pro
Yeah.
world, and now he's going back. And you have to think like, what would be the reason to going back to college? Because it's just Oregon that only job out there that is worth ending your pro only world. You know, I guess so. I mean, if University of Colorado opened up, or if uh,
Mhm.
University of Portland or other NAU or any other schools opened up, would Jerry have had any interest in joining those teams? If the Wisconsin job opened up, would he have had interest in being the head coach at Wisconsin? I don't know.
Mhm.
Um, it just seems
Well,
like,
North
well, North
Carolina,
Carolina, yeah,
they wanted the North Carolina job. I mean, that was a couple of years back now. So I think that was the signal that he wanted to get into college coaching. This one, I mean, he's just 2 hours down the road. It's a little easier to relocate the pro group
yeah,
there, and obviously the resources that come along with an Oregon job are a lot different than virtually any other program. Which brings me to the non-coaching side of things, which is so fascinating because this is unlike any other job in the country. It is a public facing job. And you can say, all right, well, every coach is public facing in track and field. That's not true. There are plenty of jobs out there where a coach on a college campus can be mostly anonymous, right? They can feel the
yes,
competitive team, and that's enough for the athletic director. That's enough for the stakeholders at that university. That is not Oregon. That is not Oregon. Oregon, if there's one exception, it is in Eugene. It is important to be an ambassador to the sport. It is important if you want to fill those stands to make home meets a priority, run your athletes, run your star athletes, which is where this decision is the most interesting to me because everything we know about Jerry Schumacher is the opposite of that. Just in terms of being open and speaking with the media or speaking with the public. You've told that story before. You had to twist his arm to talk after Shalane Flanagan won the New York City Marathon. Just didn't want to talk, didn't want to do media. Okay, there's the amount of racing that goes on. Now pros are different than collegians, and it's not like he can't adjust it all. But is Bowerman Track Club the type of team that runs a whole bunch, Gordon, in your experience?
nope. They run
No.
in silos in the middle of the woods. Time trials.
Yeah. Yeah. They run what's required of them.
Yeah.
Not nothing more, nothing less, you could say. Now there's some exceptions here or there, but he likes to do things on his terms. And I understand that from a coaching perspective. But again, that's not Oregon. That's not Oregon. And this all comes in the context with a brand new stadium that costs $270 million, a desire to fill that stadium. And maybe some of the issues with attendance are going to change, a year on when there's not 7 high profile meets at Hayward and there's other issues that are going to get alleviated in the next year. Maybe some of that goes away, but that's where I thought this was an interesting decision because I looked at this as part a coaching role, but also part somebody who's going to help make Eugene be that vital destination in track and field again. And he seems like I should say this, his actions, the way he's conducted his programs, his pro program, um, really haven't lent themselves to, hey, we're going to do a ton of outreach. It's more, hey, we're going to focus on us and win medals. Which again, nothing wrong with that. That was his job to win medals. But with Oregon, University of Oregon, there's more that goes along with it, or at least there has been in the past.
What do you think the um not the waterfall effect, is that the right phrase? I don't know.
Butterfly effect,
Domino effect that this
domino
is going to
effect.
cause? Do
Okay,
you think it's just going to be no dominoes? It's like, all right, they're just
no.
all training on Hayward Field now, and we're all good. All the Bowerman Track Club people, and we're gonna switch out the red for green, and we're good. Or do you think there's gonna be like Do you see someone like Ben Thomas taking over OTC maybe? And then OTC all of a sudden is, highlighted with Cooper Tier and Cole Hawker? Like, do you see something like that potentially happening?
I think Bowerman is going to the first part of your question. I think Bowerman is going to come to Eugene. Now, maybe some
Do,
athletes, veteran athletes who don't want to move, are going to carpool and they're just going to get a ton of miles on the I-5. I don't know.
do
Maybe they'll come
they
down there a couple times
do
a
they
week.
change their
But
logo to green?
no, I think you keep. No, I think you keep it. I think you keep it. Um, it's already named Bowerman Track Club, and he's going to the University of Oregon. This isn't a huge stretch. It's not like he's going to you know the middle of Kansas to
Yeah.
put
Okay.
together a club here. Um, but the Ben Thomas thing is interesting because I think most people think he's been somewhere between extremely successful and wildly successful at Oregon. Correct?
Yeah.
We say that, and then you have two of the bright shining stars of U.S. mid distance running in Cooper Tier and Cole Hawker training with him. So if he goes to take another coaching job somewhere else, yeah, the Cooper and Cole go with him. Does he go to OTC? It was my understanding, like we talked about last week, that OTC was winding down, that the investment wasn't going to be there long term. But if you move Ben Thomas to OTC, that doesn't signal winding things down. That signals you're ratcheting things up. So I think, yeah, that's the final domino effect here is what because they're the people that are impacted at the end of this. The athletes trained by the guy who we assume is no longer going to be there, like Hawker and Tier. But yeah, you have you have Nike has Union Athletics Club in Portland with Pete Julian, and then Bowerman in Eugene with Schumacher. What happens with Thomas Tier Hawker is still a question mark.
I just know that Jerry's going to do more interviews in the month of August slash September than he has done for the past like 10 years.
Well, I'm having
It's going to
trouble
be wild.
imagining. So you've gone to a million of those pre NCAA um, press conferences,
Yeah.
whether it's for cross, indoor, or outdoor. Will that be his first? I mean, it's going to got to be his first like open media availability since he left Wisconsin. I don't remember. I don't know if Wisconsin was doing media availabilities back in '07. But when is the last time he spoke before a meet? It's just an odd scenario to picture him up there talking. And maybe he's at the stage of his career where he's going to do a 180 and he's going to be all cool with that. But that would be surprising to me because usually people are the way they are and they stay that way. But it just, if you put Lanana, right, Vin Lanana on one side, in terms of, okay, there's a lot in common, right? Distance coach, guy who worked with Nike before, and has a big name in the distance running world. But the way Lanana interacts and interacted with the public is just so much different than the way Schumacher has. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day. So it's exciting. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see, you know, them at their first, cross country championships, see how University of Oregon does under um, Schumacher. It'll be interesting. And then now all of a sudden we're just going to see Bowerman Track Club kind of go into all the same meets that Oregon goes to. Be interesting to see how that plays out, and I'm excited. It'll
Yeah.
be change is good. Change is fun. Now we just have to wait and see what happens. So I think it's time though. Let's get to Worlds. Worlds is this week, man. It's literally this week. It starts on Friday. We lost
Women's
Kevin.
preview. I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
He's back
I'm
now.
here.
We lost you for a moment.
Colt cut my mic because I made a comment about Kansas
True.
before.
Yeah.
I
What are
think
you,
that's what it
talking
was.
about? Middle of Kansas? We can make a track team there. What are you talking about, man? Come
Yeah.
on.
I was hoping. Well, it was totally debate you to say something, and you didn't say it, which was disappointing. So I wanted you to jump in and say, "Hey, do one of those."
I
That's what
wasn't
the goal
fast
was.
enough on the mic. I was very upset though in my room.
You were producing in my room. In my room. All right. So we got these women's events. We're gonna run through the women's running events today. We're gonna do them in the order in which the final is contested. So starting with the 10K. So let's get to it. Gordon, do you want me to start first?
Yeah, you start first.
All right. So we'll throw up we have the entries there on the screen. Yeah. Awesome. So I think the big question mark in the women's 10,000 is Sifan Hassan because she has entered in this race, but she's also entered in the 5,000 and the 1,500. Now, she ran a 5,000 over the weekend, her first race of 2022, 15:13 in Portland. Don't know what we can conclude from that. She was probably just cruising around the track. I don't know. You could look at it from any different perspective and draw any sort of conclusion. So that's the big question hanging out over this event. When you look at top seeds, Ailish McColgan, it's interesting, has that top time, but Gidey, Tai are going to be two to watch from Ethiopia as well. The U.S. obviously rolling here with Schweizer, Monson, and Natasha Rogers. But I don't know, Gordon. I feel like this has the potential for an Ethiopia um, big medal haul. Nian Saba, I guess, is the other one to consider as well. Hasn't run a 10 this year. So there's a ton of question marks in this women's 10,000 between Hassan and Nian Saba. And it's a totally different type of race than I thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year, which is one I thought we would see a battle between Hassan and Nian Saba, but I could see the Ethiopian group really run away with this thing.
Yeah, it's always hard to figure out how a 10K is going to play out because you can't just look at descending order times because no one is really always running an all out 10K. And just the way the race will unfold isn't always going to be, you know, the, they're not always going to be running to the best of their ability, right? Sometimes it's a sit and
Yeah.
kick, sometimes some
Right. Right.
weird things happen. So I think Nian Samba is the favorite. I think
Really?
yeah. I mean, she ran well at pre in that two
Yeah.
mile.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
think
have her third in the
she's
rankings. I have her third in the rankings, so I think that's a legit spot to put her. You look at her year; she doesn't run a ton though. That's my only. That's my only concern.
yeah, but no one is running a lot these days, right? Now it's a feature, not a flaw, to not run a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So I
Sure.
agree with you. Ethiopia is going to be all over the map. They kind of feel all interchangeable. I like your
Yeah.
rankings. I
Well,
think your
I should
rankings are
mention though,
fair, but
Sagai is
Stefan
not.
Hassan,
Sagai's not entered in the 10. I have her number 2, but Ethiopia didn't put her in the 10. She's in the 5. Um, actually, no, she's in the 15. Excuse me. Shows you how good she is. That she's not even. She could be ranked in all 3. So from that perspective, yeah, you have um, one less person to worry about. But go ahead. Sorry.
all right, we're just going to get to the point. I'm going to tell you my top three. You tell me your top
Yeah.
three, and then we give our
Yeah.
sleeper. No, let's give our sleeper first. My sleeper, Helen Obiri.
Hmm. Okay.
Do you like that sleeper pick?
I mean, I don't want to get into the debate about what counts as a sleeper, so I'll just say awesome. Good pick.
Good idea. Yeah, I think Helen
Yeah.
Obiri. That's the only event I think she's in. I don't think she's running the
Yeah.
5. So
She's not.
she's all in on the 10. I like that. I mean, not that it matters because it's the first event, so it's not like it's a big deal. But I think Helen Berry is going to find a way to sneak into the podium position. But my top 3 order, I'll go Tay,
Hmm.
Ian Samba, Obiri.
So I got G'day as bronze. Oh, you want me to do sleeper first? Sorry. I'll
Yeah.
go the third Ethiopian entrant, Mulate, Bosena Mulate, as a sleeper. I'll say G'day, bronze, Tay, silver, and then I'll contradict everything I said in the beginning. And Nian Saba gets gold.
Can you write this
And I
down?
think
You write this down for us?
who, me? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Sure. Sure, I'll do
So we
it.
can see who wrote it.
Uh well, do yours again. Say it again.
Oh, I'm going Tay, Niansamba, Obiri.
Uh so do you think Hassan's going to run this race? My final question.
No, I think she's just going to run the
Early
500.
on. That's my thinking too. Okay, so you went Tay, Niansaba, Obiri. Kevin is going with Niansaba, Tay. Okay. All right. Next up is women's 100. What do you think?
Controversy. Maybe.
What's the what's the controversy?
Well, the controversy is in my own mind. And the controversy
Oh,
is, do I really want
okay.
to say that all 3 spots are going to Jamaica? Because it's tempting. Don't get me wrong. It is tempting to just go chalk and be like Jamaica 1, 2, 3. But here's the thing. Here is the thing. I think there is potentially a hole, a gap forming that Aaliyah Hobbs can find a way to get on the podium. I think the way she's been running, she's been super consistent with 10 sevens and 10 eights. More
Where's the gap
consistent
though?
than what?
Where's the gap though? You're saying
Oh,
the
the
gap's
gap?
between Jackson, Thompson, Hurrah?
Yeah. Shelly Ann's winning.
Okay.
Shelly Ann's won.
That's not a very big gap though.
Elaine Thompson Hurrah is getting second. But that third position, I'm
Wait.
going with Aaliyah Hobbs. And then
Uh,
fourth, Sharika Jackson. I'm doing
Shrika
it. I
Jackson just
believe
won
in it.
she just won Jamaican trials. 10-7-7.
Okay, what does that mean? You see people lose Jamaica trials and then go on and win the Olympics. So
Yeah, it was just 2 weeks ago though. Listen, this is a sweep. This is a sweep. I looked at it, played it over again in my head. This is a sweep. And I think Fraser Price wins. I actually think I have Jackson third behind Thompson Hurrah, but I actually would pick Jackson for silver right now and then Thompson Hurrah in the bronze. Past that, I think you're right. Hobbs is probably the next biggest threat to break that thing up, but I just don't see anybody being able to crack that top 3. So I'm going Fraser Price, Jackson, and Thompson Hurrah.
yeah. Oh, so you're going Thompson Hurrah third.
Yeah.
You're putting the Olympic champion third. How dare you? How dare you,
Yeah.
Kevin?
Well, you're having Shrika Jackson off the podium, which I think is crazy based on how she's run this year. That is crazy.
Well,
This is a sweep.
I'll make up for
This is a sweep.
I'll make up it for Sharika in the 200. I don't think it's a sweep. I just don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think one will fall, and I'm choosing Sharika, even though I think she's maybe potentially the best Jamaican right now. But I don't know. I'm contradicting myself. I'm talking myself into circles. I'm just going with my gut, and my gut says Fraser Price, Thompson Hurrah, Aaliyah Hobbs, Sharika Jackson. I'll keep going. Melissa Jefferson 5, 6 Julian Alfred, 7 Tunisha Terry, 8 Kambunji.
Do you have a sleeper?
That's my topic. The sleeper's Aaliyah Hobbs.
Okay.
Basically, all my third
right.
place finishers are going to be my sleepers. That's how I've decided. I decided that whoever I think is going to get third is my sleeper.
Gordon changes
Bold
the definition
strategy.
of sleeper every time we talk about sleepers.
Yes.
This is tough.
Tough.
All right. Any other thoughts on the women's 100?
Do you think it'll be fast?
Yes.
Like 10-5 fast?
It's going to be fast.
Think they'll run 10-5?
No, I think 10-6 low fast, and it's going to be one of those all-time performances in terms of depth. I think you get 3 women in like sub 10-7-2 or something crazy like that. That's what I'm going with. Obviously, the potential for someone to go 10-5 based on how good they've been last year, but I would say 10-6 low, and then maybe another 10-6 low, and then either a 10-6 high or a 10-7 low. But I see this as a Jamaican sweep. I see it as a Jamaican sweep. It's tough to look at it in any other way. And then I think even the sleeper is the fourth Jamaican, Kevin Nelson. I think you could put her in the mix as well too, based on how she ran the Jamaican trials and where she trained. Gordon,
University of Oregon.
she knows the track. She knows that track. She knows the facility.
Is that ever a thing? Has there ever been
I think
I won
I think it's
this
the most
race
overrated thing in sports.
because I know this 400-meter track? Has ever happened in the
I
history of track and field?
I like it. If the U.S. does well, that's what people are going to say. Just like when they didn't do
Ooh,
well in Tokyo, it was, oh, the training camp was in the wrong place or something. Yeah, I think that's generally the most overrated thing in sports. But I do not think Emma Nelson's overrated. I think she's going to run well in this race. So keep an eye on her. Maybe not fourth, but I think she's going to surprise some people because they probably didn't pay attention all the way down there on the Kenyan trials. So, all right, women's 1500, our next event. Faith Kipyegon, huge favorite, gigantic favorite, enormous favorite. Pick however you want to describe it. She is winning this race. I think the battle is for second. As I mentioned before, Udaf Sagai from Ethiopia is taking on the challenge. She's run 354 this year. She will be entered in this race. Ethiopia sending a solid team. They also have Mishesha and Hailu in there. Again, I don't see anybody stopping Kipyegon in this race. And I think the depth that we had last year and the year previous in this event just isn't there for a variety of reasons in this women's 1500. I mean, you do not have Sifan Hassan, Gabrielle Debut Stafford, great runner, not going to be there. Laura Muir hasn't run as well. Obviously, Houlihan not there in 2019, suspended. So I think Kipyegon and the Ethiopian trio are going to be battling out for the medals, and I think Kipyegon is still a step ahead of everybody else.
yes, Kipyegon obviously is going to win. We don't really need to have this conversation, but we say that and then watch she loses because that's how track and field works. The person most
She's not
likely to
losing.
win loses. That's what you say
She's not
now, but
losing.
like you're going to regret that decision. You can't say that because if we're going to be wrong if we say it's obvious. It is obvious, but we're
If
going to be wrong if it's obvious. That's how it
if
works.
Faith Kipyegon loses this race, when we are doing the live pod that night, I will
House
go
bet?
outside where you're. No, I'm not losing my house, but I will at midnight, whenever we're recording, I will run all out for 3 minutes and 52 seconds in honor of Faith Kipyegon losing,
Oh,
and
this
then
is gonna
come
be
back
great.
on the pod covered in sweat in the middle of the night. She's not losing. It's just not happening. I mean, Sagai is a great runner. Faith Kipyegon is too solid. She's not losing this race. The battle is for. I almost. Yeah, I don't know how many medals are even up for grabs in this thing. It's going to be tough. The fun thing is, even though it makes it less predictable, or sorry, more predictable, like they're going to go for it. Kipyegon likes to push the pace. Sagai likes to push the pace. They're going to go for it. And I saw someone in the chat mentioning a fast time, like world record territory. Yeah, like go back and look at Pre, how much she pushed the pace in that race. She's completely fearless. So I think we could see an insane time here from Faith Kipyegon.
Man, I really want Kipyegon to lose now so I can see you run all out for
All out.
352. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Actually, you know what?
It's gonna
I was
happen
gonna say
now.
I'll go all out for 350 in honor of the world record because that's almost what I think she's capable of. Like, pull up her Cole. Can you pull up Faith Kipyegon's yearly results? Like, she's been like that pre-race was really impressive, and then going back, like just knocking on the door of 350 low, like over and over and over again. And again, just the way she runs, just she runs the same way that Jakob runs and Timothy Chariot runs, or I should say they run the same way she runs. But like, yeah, that 1500, 352, 59. I mean, to do that at the end of May, I think we can see a 350 here if she wants it. I think this is gonna be a special race.
I don't know about you, but I look at this and I'm like, she hasn't run a lot of 1500s. She's not used to that 4-lap race, and that she might stutter step a bit and not feel like comfortable with the 3 and 3/4 lap race and loses and makes you run. I don't know. My whole mindset has just gone out the window after you said you're going to go an all out 350 run. Now I don't
Yeah.
care about anything
Yeah.
else at this track and field meet for this entire 10 days except seeing Faith Kipyegon lose. She's not going to lose, but that's what I'm going to be cheering for. I'm going to put all my money on
Yeah.
that. I'm going for it. Let's do picks.
Will
Kipyegon, I got one. I think she's going to win. I don't want it anymore. I think uh, I think uh, good day. Good days. Not good day. Teske.
it's a guy.
Tagai. I'm sorry. I apologize. So guys can get second. I think that's a clear 1-2. I think there'll be a big gap between 1 and 2 and a big gap between 2 and 3. But then third spot.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for Sinclair Johnson. I believe in it. I think this is an opportunity for Sinclair Johnson to show that she's got the wheels. She's in the same category as all these other women. It's the 358 category. Yes, there's one 357, Mushesha,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone else is
Yeah.
358 low, 358 mid, 359. When it's like that, nothing matters. I think there's a way Johnson kicks for third and she gets a medal. So I'm going with Kipyegon, Tsegay, and Johnson. Tsegay, sorry.
All right. I'm going Kipyegon, Sagai, and then Mishesha. She's been good this year though. Although I like the Johnson pick. Again, she trains in Oregon, Gordon.
She knows
Home
the
state
track.
advantage.
She
She
knows the
knows the
exact
track.
meters of that lap. She
She,
knows exactly.
she knows it's 400.
Unlike
a lot
the
of
other
people. A lot of people might be a little like, what's this bell going off for? What does that mean? This confuses me.
She knows.
All right. Women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. This one was a hard event to rank. I was going through all the performances this year. There's a clear top tier there with Jirutu and Yavi, but then you have Alamayehu of Ethiopia. She's 17 years old, so her results are a bit all like started off slow this year, but then dropped a real quick one recently. And then you have the Olympic champion Chemutai in there. I put Coburn ninth, which
Woo.
I obviously think she's going to outperform that. But if you just look at it based on merit this year, it's tough to put her any higher. And I guess a spot or two here or there, you could move her up. But because her one big race was pre, and because she was off the pace at pre, and then she went on and won trials, but she hasn't had any, I guess you could say, quality wins. But obviously, it's not going to surprise me if she outperforms that.
Yeah, you look at Coburn, she's run 9:10. There's a bunch of women who've all broken 9:10 and 2 women who've broken 9 flat. And so when you see that, you just feel like there's such a big gap. But I think Coburn, I don't think the gap is as big as we think it is. I think on paper it feels big because we're just looking at 2022 season's best. And you're like, whoa, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to look at history, and history has shown that Coburn will be prepared to be in that front group when it comes down to it against these other women. And it's not steeplechase championships are not like Diamond League finals or Diamond League races. They're very unique. It just
Are
has a
they?
different vibe, I feel. And yeah, I feel like
I
it's
think they're
always
always
different.
fast, though, right? They're not tactical.
No, but like there's always we go into a championship
Well,
for women's steeple, and there's always 2 to 3 women who have incredible PBs who suck in that race. It happens. You're like, dude, you run 9:03, and then all of a sudden they're getting beat by 9:12 women. Like
okay.
that
All right.
happens.
I see that.
I think there's a lot of
Well, I
women
think
here
part
who
of it
have
is,
flawed PBs. That's all I'm saying. Or season best.
I think part of the reason for that is, and it's the same on the men's side, is if Kenya could enter 7 people, it would be a different race. But because they can't, it changes the dynamic of the race on both the men's and
Yeah.
the women's side, or whatever there's traditional powers here who would take up more spots. So I mean, I got Jiruto and Yavi 1, 2, and then I'll probably go with Chemutai for the bronze.
I'm gonna go Yavi, Jaruto. My
You're just gonna pick Americans for every
I
bronze? You're gonna pick Americans for every single bronze medal.
I know. I
It's
realized that
incredible.
right when I was about to say it, I was like, I'm doing a
I
trend.
already
I
wrote
can't.
in. I already wrote in. I already wrote in Coburn. Let's move on
I
for
don't
you.
want
I
to
knew it
though
before you were
because I
gonna
gotta.
pick it.
Okay. You know what? Fun. I'm gonna put
What do you
Coburn.
think?
I'm there. I want to
Pick
have
what you
fun. I
think.
want to cheer for I want to be a biased American and cheer for Coburn. But I mean, I agree with you, but I don't want to agree with you. I agree with you, except for I think Yavi should be first. That's basically what I'm going off of.
There's only two people I'm cheering for in this meet. Faith Kipyegon, so I don't have to run 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and Oblique Seville. That's it. Doesn't matter. All right, but I mean, who do you feel? Do you feel that's the right pick?
Yeah, I just think Yavi's gonna win. I
No,
go
I meant for
Yavi,
bronze.
Geruto. Oh, Bronzo? No, I mean, yeah, I
You want me to
agree
put
with.
down Coburn?
Can we just put like her down in like a side column that like break if happens? Like if like one lap to
No.
go,
Okay,
she's in it.
moving
We
on.
can unlock it and be like Gordon pick Coburn. Gordon pick Coburn. Like it's real.
No,
But if
say it right
after
now.
one, all
Say it right now, or it doesn't count.
right, I'll say it. Coburn. Let's do it. Why not?
Okay.
There's nothing on the line. Like if I'm wrong, whoops.
Hold on. You just hedged, man. You had a nice clip. You should have just said Coburn, book it. Instead, you're like, Coburn, why not? I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like, it's not like podcasts change people's lives or anything like that. Like, what's the big deal here? Let me just pick a random. Like, come on, say it. If you're gonna pick it, pick it
All right, Coburn. I'm saying it. Coburn. Coburn.
for
Spell it
bronze.
right. I spelled it right. Okay, good.
Yeah. See, you ruined the clip again. I'm
Thought
giving
there
you
was like a
multiple
U in there or
opportunities.
something.
There is.
All right.
You said it. Coburn.
No, I thought there was like a
Burn.
U before the B, which is stupid now when I'm thinking about it. It
What?
makes no sense. I need to work on my spelling. It's fine. We're good. I
This is
spelled it right.
tough.
We're making great content.
Changing lives.
Yeah, changing lives here. All right.
All right, let's go.
Next up. What do we got here? Hold on. I'm looking at the list here.
You know, I even
Oh,
prepared.
women's
You don't even have
200.
the rundown. Okay.
No, I have Gordon amounts of tabs open right now, and it's really overwhelming. What I need is just a sheet in front of me with everything. I need one piece of paper in front of me. All right, women's 200. Gordon. In the rankings, I have Shrika Jackson, number 1. Elaine Thompson-Herah, number 2. Abby Steiner, number 3. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, 4. Favor Ophelia, 5. And then I put in Bowman and Thomas in my top 10. They obviously won't be competing in Eugene, but I put them in there because I think for Thomas at least she's going to come back, and Boma I think she's going to come back as well too. And these are year-long rankings, not just pre-championship rankings. But other people to consider there: Tamara Clark, Jenna Prandini, Dina Asher-Smith, and Mujinga Cam Bungie. Another potential here for a Jamaican sweep. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I think it's incredible that I got to a place with you that you were able to put Abby Steiner above
Are we really going to do this again?
one of like Shelly and Fraser Price. But I digress. All right. I was hating on Sharika Jackson in the 100. I was putting her 4th. I was having her lose to Aaliyah Hobbs. But that was all in the mindset that loss is going to reinvigorate her into dominating this 200 and running an incredible time. I think she's going to run another 21.5. I think she's going to win. I think it's not even going to be close. I personally think Abby Steiner will get second because she has shown consistency. And then Elaine Thompson-Herah in third. I can see a world, though, where Elaine Thompson-Herah gets second. I don't see a world where Elaine Thompson-Herah gets first. I think Sharika has her number. I don't think that's changing. Thompson-Herah, she could just find a way to show up and like, I'm ready to run 21.6s. And maybe Abby Steiner's not ready for that. But maybe Elaine isn't ready for 21.6s, and maybe Elaine's only ready for 21.7s. And if she's ready for 21.7s, Abby can match that. And Abby has been on this track running championship rounds after championship rounds at Hayward Field. So I'm going with 1 Jackson, 2 Steiner, 3 Thompson-Herah, 4 Tamara Clark, 5 Favor Ophelia, 6 Jenna Prandini, 7 Cam Bungie, 8 Shelly and Fraser Price.
No Dean Asher
I did
Smith.
her hard.
All right.
She's going from winning the 100-meter title to getting dead last in the 200-meter final.
Well, someone's feel like one of those 3 is gonna scratch.
Yeah, that's probably happened too. It'll
Just
probably be
it's the
Shelly.
200.
She's gonna scratch after winning
It's
on
just
the
how
100%. Yeah.
it's just how it happens. There's just a lot of scratches in the 200. I'm not picking against Jackson. I don't think you can pick against Jackson. I think some of the whole, "Oh, they won the Jamaican championships and then they went and lost at Worlds or Olympics," is mitigated by the fact that this was only a couple weeks ago and she ran 21.5. It's gotta be worth something. Remember the Diamond League race where she blew out Thompson Hurrah coming off the curve? Now, part of that is maybe Thompson Hurrah is not where we thought she should be or where she will be in a couple weeks, but still, a couple of convincing victories there. I got her 1. I think Thompson Hurrah is gonna rally and give her a good race, though, to get 2nd, and then I just stuck with my ranking, so I put Steiner in 3rd. If this race was a month later, I probably would be a bit more wary of picking Steiner after that long college season, but because it's still relatively close and they're running where, Gordon?
Hayward Field, where she
Yeah,
knows
she knows,
that it's 200 meters.
and she just won. She just won there.
She knows the angles
So
of the track. Oval.
I'll go with Steiner in 3rd, but I really just think this is going to be Jackson.
Yep, I agree with you, Jackson. I guess the only disagreement we have Steiner and Thompson Hall flip flopped, but either result I would you know understand. I'm like, yeah, William Thompson Hall second, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say I
All
was
right, I
looking
wrote
back
those.
not to talk about Abby Steiner, but I'm gonna talk about it one more time. Obviously,
Yes,
I
you
was
picked her a
looking.
while ago.
Yeah,
How
I was
long are you going
watching.
to make this a point? She could win her
Well,
50th gold medal in the year 2036, and Gordon's lead story would be, it's cool that the rest of the world is realizing this, but back in 2019, I picked her to win the
no,
NCAA 200. Did you guys
just
know
hear me
that?
out. Just hear me out, Kevin. Back
She
to
gets awarded
January
the Nobel
1st,
Peace Prize. So I saw it all along. I knew
the
she could get it.
December, like December 31st, 2022 major prediction show that we did. I had some wrong predictions. I thought Paul Chelimo was going to win a global medal, but obviously I picked Abby Steiner was going to break the collegiate record and make Team USA, right? And that obviously came true.
Yeah.
But you asked me, do I think she's going to medal at Worlds? And I said in that moment, no. I was like, no. That's too much.
Oh, so you
I don't think.
doubted her. Doubted
So I
her.
doubted her
Interesting.
in that thing. I was like, no, she's not going to medal.
Did you go back and listen to
So
this?
yeah, I went back and I wanted to see like if there was like a really good clip where I could like show it off and brag. But then I ended the
Yeah.
clip by saying like she's not going to medal at Worlds. So it was like, because if I would have been like, yeah, she
This is
also
what
gets second at Worlds, and then I can literally show me predicting her future. That was like the goal. It'll be like a TikTok or something, but I
this
don't
is
have it anymore.
why I said be bold. This is why I was telling you
Yeah,
with that Coburn clip. No one's gonna remember it if you get it
hedge.
all the way
Yeah.
wrong. You got to go all the way in. All right, let's keep going. Next up, women's 400, headlined by the favorite Shawnee Miller Weibo. My Lady Polino has been running incredibly well for the Dominican Republic. I have a thing, Mo, obviously in those rankings, but she's running the 800. Then you have real tight battle there, I think, for bronze between Candice McLeod, Talitha Diggs, Stephanie Ann McPherson, Cherokee Young, Kesmerick of Poland. Poland's going to have a couple good entries in this women's 400. I think I would be very surprised if Miller Weibo didn't win gold, and I'd be surprised
Really?
if Paulino didn't win silver. Yes. And I think bronze is completely wide open. So I feel really good about those top 2 spots, and I think that bronze medal position is open.
Okay, hold on. You'd be extremely surprised if Paulino won.
Yes.
Why? She's run 49.49 this year.
Because Miller Weibo's run 48.3 before, and it's just been. You said she's just been cruising this year. We've watched all the races. She had that one
Paulino
bad
can run a
race early
48.
on.
You don't think Paulino can run a 48? What's her PB?
I don't think she can run 49.2. I mean, Miller Weibo is almost a full second faster in terms of personal best. So
Paulino's
I just
probably
think,
run a fast. That's probably split 48 seconds in a 4x4.
oh, please, just now you're talking about 4x4 splits. She's great. She's great. But I don't know what has she proven that she can be better than Miller Weibo in a way that would make Miller Weibo not the big favorite? Miller Weibo's the big favorite. That's just
Okay,
the reality.
Miller Rabo has the pedigree. She has the vet, but like there is Paulino was a year away last year. And that year has now come. So I do think this could be the breakout year for Paulino. She's only 25. She hasn't been on the international like elite circuit for that long. She's kind of she came onto the scene kind of late last year or the year before. I forget exactly when she started becoming
Yeah.
relevant with her marks. I think
Yeah.
this could be her like breakout performance where she runs a 48 seconds and upsets Shawnee Miller-Weibo. I don't think Miller-Weibo isn't like bulletproof. She has, she's not
She
a
had one bad
100%
race.
guarantee the way you are doing, the way you're putting her. So I think Paulino, I mean, you know what? I'm going to pick Paulino. I think Paulino will win this race. I think Shawnee Miller-Weibo will get second. There, I said it, and I believe it. I'm not just saying it to say it. I believe it.
What's the head-to-head there, Colt? You had it up there, but you need to switch the event over to 400 on that World Athletics head-to-head. Yeah. So where it says on the event there, you have it listed as pull it down to 400. And then Shawnee Miller to Weibo on that second one.
Oh, look at that.
1-1.
Ooh.
Right, the Doha race. I'm not reading into the Doha Wind Fest when they both ran 51. No, Miller Weibo is going to win. She's going to roll.
When it's 1-1.
48-3.
What? Okay, so but is that
Okay.
dominance right there? No, I don't think so. So
No, it's not dom. They haven't
you
run
thought
that
you were going to
much.
get a good stat. You thought you were going to get a 3-0, but you didn't. You got a 1-1,
No, I didn't.
and now you're trying to walk it back.
No, I brought it up because Colt was struggling with the drop down, and I wanted to show him how it worked because I was trying to like put my mouse over it because he was trying to like
Don't
do
blame
60-meter
hey,
head to head.
Don't blame your bad stat on me. That's not on me.
No, it's. Do I need to run I'll run another race, Gordon, if Miller Weibo loses. You want me to run a 400 all out? We'll go to another track.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Track
100%. Yes.
midnight.
I'm going to win this one.
Yes.
This
She's
is
not
exciting.
losing. Miller Weibo's not
Okay,
losing.
so
Remember this clip. Miller Weibo is not losing.
all out 400. Here we go. This is going to be great. You're going to get
Fine.
a good workout. 10 days.
I'm not
10
even.
races.
I'm not even
great.
holding you accountable for your bad picks. That's how confident I am. I'm not even asking you to put something on the line if Paulino doesn't win. That's how confident I am in Shawnee Miller Weibo and Faith Kipyegon. I'm going to be doing 0 running in Eugene at 11 p.m. because all my picks are coming true. So
all right,
I have Miller Weibo, then Paulino, and then for third, man, this is tough. This is tough. I'm probably going to go with McLeod. And
I'm going with Cherokee Young.
Right. Paulino, Shawnee Miller Weibo, and then
I wanted to go Diggs. I really wanted to go Diggs, but I just feel like
you got a shot.
Better spot.
Yeah. Again, I think there's legit 5, 6, 7 people who could run.
You could finish a third spot.
Bronze.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It's very open. So that's the women's 400. All right. Evan says South Eugene track would love to have you. Yeah, I'd love to go there just to see people and stuff, but I'm not gonna run over there because I know
we're gonna be
Shawnee Miller Weibo and Faith Kipyegon are gonna win. And I'm not, for the record, I'm not running the 15 on the track. I'm just gonna, because I don't want to be held accountable for my performance on that one. I'm just gonna run really hard for 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and we'll put it on Instagram Live, and it'll be dark at night, so no one will really see anything.
There's gonna be it's gonna be the Kevin eats his words tour all week long. I'm excited.
When have I ever been wrong about my picks, other than most times we make picks? You can't name a single occasion. I can't believe you're picking against Miller Weibo. That's insane. Okay,
it's not that insane to pick
absolutely
a young
insanity.
49 runner-up at the Olympics. Like, come on, 49 second and runner-up at the Olympics, and I think she's going to win the next year. That's not crazy.
Runner-up to who?
It's normal.
To who? Runner-up to who?
To an aging Miller or Weibo.
Aging? She's fine. She's going to be fine. Everybody's aging That's
That's true.
ridiculous.
We all are.
Women's 400 hurdles. Who do you got, Gordon? I'm going with
See
Sydney
now,
McLaughlin.
yeah. Now this would be a fun. This would be really wild if I'm like, yo, Femke Bowl's gonna win it, but I'm not that. See, I can have some chaos in my picks, but I'm not gonna be. I'm not dumb. See this is a situation where you
I'm not
say
dumb.
there's no way in hell so and so is going to lose. Like Sidney McLaughlin deserves the Shawnee Miller Weibo treatment you were giving Shawnee. Sidney McLaughlin, she's going to break the world record again, I think. Or maybe not. She might
Yeah.
kind of chill. I don't know. But she's going to win. Femke
I,
Bowl
you,
is going to be a
you keep
solid
thinking
second.
these. You keep
Wait,
thinking these
what?
pro athletes are going to chill because you said this at USA's. Yeah, she might just cruise. No, this is when they're going to run fast. And then when they do actually cruise, like Miller Weibo in the early part of the season, you hold those performances against them. It makes no sense. No, she's a lock too. There are going to be multiple locks
Yeah.
and there can be levels of locks. Sydney is a really high level lock. I think it's going to be her. I think it's going to be Bull. The third one is just tough. I'm going to go with Muhammad because I'm assuming she's going to get healthy. And her race, she did run 53 lowish this year. So she's not that far
No, she didn't.
out
She
of
ran
it.
53 high-ish.
Oh, she did? 53.8. Excuse me. That was end of April. So if she's healthy, I think she'll be able to get past that contingent of Britton Wilson and Geneve Russell and Salmon. So I'm gonna go with Muhammad for bronze. You know, in Tokyo didn't look like she was gonna be able to get there, and she was amazing. I'm going um, Sydney, Bull, Muhammad.
I'm going Sydney, Bowl, and Wilson. Britton Wilson, I'm very confident about this top three. I really believe Britton Wilson is ready to show up. I think she might even have a new PB. She might break 53 seconds. So yeah, I think we'll have
How many?
the first place will be in the 51 second range. Second place will run 52 low, and then third place will run 52 high.
52 high for Wilson after that season would be
Yeah,
incredible. Maybe invite her to Bowerman. You know,
yeah.
maybe make some Bowerman changes. No
Uh oh.
controversy there.
You know, anger the
if
people.
Wilson gets, if Steiner and Wilson both medal, and maybe Talitha Diggs, does that mean it's time to revisit whether or not college athletes are allowed to? I can't even say it with a straight face.
Yeah, Sydney's gonna. You think Sydney's gonna break the world record again?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's pick the time. We can put money on
Okay.
it. Closest to it has to run. Has to do like 100 push-ups or something. I don't know. Just
Women's,
put up money.
That's
First
easy.
person gets
That's easy
20
for me
bucks.
these days. 100 push-ups.
I can't do a
I'm in the
push-up right
gym,
now.
Gordon. Yeah. So 51:41 is a world record. She was 51:46 in Tokyo. Last year in Eugene at the trial, she was 51:90. So she took another half a second off. I think if she does somehow manage to go sub 50, I would be like,
So
wow.
51.
Like that's the only sub 51, excuse me. That's where I'd say, man, she did it again. She managed to impress once again. I'm going to go a smaller advantage, or sorry, a smaller jump this time. I'm going to go 51:33. I'll write this down as well too, so we have it.
I'm gonna go 51, 35.
Come on, come on.
What?
Just take
You can't just
two
like have the
100s.
real estate of all the numbers. Like, what am I supposed to do? You can't be like, I have claim over plus 10 and minus 10. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Listen,
What would be
we're
an
doing
appropriate
content.
guess for me? What would be an appropriate guess for me? What am I allowed to say?
Either no world record or something under 51 too. Get some
See?
distance between us. It's just like
It's
it's like
unfair. You
I'm
can't just
using
like
I
claim
no,
everywhere.
it's like I'm going to use the bathroom and there's 7 other stalls and you're standing like right next to me. Like use one of the other ones.
The other ones are broken. And I like that stall. That's where I go. It's
No.
nothing to do with you. I would have said 51-35 regardless of whatever number you would have said. I'm not going to let your bathroom decision and your number choices affect my decision. I'm my
No.
own person.
That's Listen, why are we doing this, Gordon? to change lives. So you need to be a little bit bolder with this pick.
This is not the boldness of the pick is being exactly right. That's the boldness. She's going to run
Okay.
51:35.
I get everything under it then. So I guess you get everything over that. So we
No,
just said
that's
an
not how it
over
works.
under. No, we basically said an under at 50 over under at 51:34. You're taking the over, I'm taking the under. That's a lot more interesting than
Okay, there you go. Look at that
I
compromise.
mean, it would
Come
be
together.
funny. The way this would work is if she does run 51:34, then that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And then I would say, Kevin, why'd you give Gordon such a hard time? You guys were both right in their own way.
See, we're family. All right, next event.
Did you say we're a family? I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
we're
about that.
family.
All right, 5K. 5K. The event where we believe Safan Hassan will race. The Ethiopian team for this, Tai, Gade, and
Hold on.
Sayam. What am I holding?
You need look at your rankings, man. What'd you do? Look at him. Bring him up. What's happened to number 6 and 10? Like, what's going on there, bro?
Formatting is
You know how to use
shot.
text?
Oh. Oh, I thought I had the wrong order. That's fine.
No, but you
Okay.
just don't know how to use text. Let me fix this for you.
Is Nian Saba gonna double? Because I have her winning the 10. I would think she'd be better in the 5. I just feel confident she's gonna get one of these. Gade, world record holder. You know what's interesting? Before we get into this actual event, are you done formatting?
Hold on, I'm fixing your formatting because it looks weird, man. I'm a visual person. Things look good.
He's changing lives, Kevin. Let him do it. He's changing
lives.
lives.
One formatting error at a time. Thank you, man. Okay, can I continue now?
Yeah, you can talk.
Okay, but I want you to listen when I'm talking because I think this is interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
I have
I started listening.
Well,
First time I'm listening.
Monson's the top 10. I think Monson's top 10 in the 5, but she's not running the 5. And then because she has a really good mark. And then Cranny isn't in the 10, but she's top 10 in the 10,000. I just thought that was interesting from a U.S. perspective. I mean, I think Nian Saba's going to get this done again, but part of me doesn't think she's going to be able to pull off a double. But you just look at who she's against. I feel like she can do it. What do you think?
I 1,000% agree. I think Nian Saba is going to win this. I think it's going to be great also to see her win this race in a race that has Caster Semenya in it. It'll be a big FU to World Athletics, being like, "Oh, we're not allowed to run, but we're allowed to run." Make up your mind, because Nian Saba is naturally an 800-meter runner or 1,500-meter runner, so she has to go up into the 5K, 10K world, and then she's going to win the 5K, 10K. I think she's going to win this 5. I think Tay's going to get second. I think she's going to pull off a really good double. I think they're basically going to swap. I think Tay, Nian Saba go 1-2 in the 10, and then they swap in the 5. But third place in this 5,000.
Ooh, is the streak over?
Elise Cranny.
Streak is over. Gordon picking it. All right, that would be surprising. That's a bold pick there, and it continues with your tradition of Americans winning virtually every bronze medal in this entire meet for Gordon.
Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, there's some obviously very great talented women, but like with Safan Hassan not being what we expected, a spot has opened up. It's not as crowded, and I think, like they said, she knows the track. She trains in Oregon, the state of Oregon, and she knows it's 400 meters. I'm kidding, but yeah, I think Elise Cranny, she looked really good in my opinion in the USA's, even though you could argue maybe it wasn't that good because the 2 other Americans finished like right behind her and she didn't pull away from them. So you could be like, but she did run 30:14 in a 10K. So she has a talent. So I think I'm going with her.
All right, let's go. We have 4x1, 800 high hurdles, and then 4x4 left. So 4x1, I got Jamaica winning this, Gordon. I don't know about you.
I
I'm gonna
think
go
I'm
with
gonna have to go with that pick. It seems like a smart decision to go with
I'm gonna go with
the greatest female country in 100-meter dashing. It's a weird way to describe the
yes.
country, but you know what I mean. Yeah, they're gonna destroy.
I
It's
think
gonna
they're
be
gonna
exciting. It's gonna be must watch.
world record this time. I'm picking
Yeah,
world record for this one. It's finally gonna happen. It's
I
gone
hope so.
on
That'll be
long
cool.
enough. It should. With the PBs, it should. I'm looking at other. Well, it's like look at the other countries that are entered uh, in this race: Switzerland, Great Britain, Germany, Canada, Italy, Nigeria, Spain, Netherlands, Poland, Ireland, Denmark, Ecuador, China, and Japan. I'll go Switzerland for bronze. What do you got?
Jamaica 1, US 2. I
Actually,
don't
I'm
know
switching.
3.
I'm going Great Britain for for bronze.
Yeah, Great Britain. I like Great Britain. I'm
Natives
matching
run
you.
really well.
Here's the
Anyone? Okay.
thing though.
The thing, Gordon.
USA on the men's side always screws it up, right? Jamaica never does. And if they do, they get like third, and it's like, okay, we're still here. How wild would it be if this Jamaica team found a way to screw it up and like mess up an exchange? Do you think there's any timeline or scenario where the greatest, you could argue the greatest 4x1 put
Yeah.
together could like have a holy shit moment and like drop the baton?
Oh, of course. Yeah, there's a chance. I just don't think they'll do it. But I just hope they don't. I also don't hope they don't play it safe because I want to see what they can do when they really go for it. Because if you have a situation where three of your top four are 10-6s, I want to see what that looks like on a 4x1. I'm just curious and I want to see it. And I want to see it with clean handoffs. I think everybody wants to see that, except the other people in the race that are going against them.
I
They don't
think
want to see
even
that.
all the other countries want to see it. Like, I bet you
Just
a
stop.
majority of Americans and like other countries are excited to watch Jamaica whip our ass, whip their asses. Like, they just want to see greatness.
All right. Women's 800. Man, this one is getting more interesting as the year progresses. You could go in a bunch of different directions here, but I think a thing Mo still belongs at the top of the list. I have her as a favorite. I still have Keely Hodgkinson too, even though she lost to Mary Mora. I have Ajay Wilson in that third spot based on how well she ran USA's. Then Mora fourth, Rogers five, Passay of Australia six, Mashesha seven, Lamont, Nikai, and then Natoya Gould.
It's a
But
bad ranking. I'm gonna say it's a bad ranking.
which one would you switch? Would you have Mora higher up?
Yes, I think
Would you have
Mora
her
is
at
gonna
two instead
get
of
second.
four?
I think Mora is
Okay,
gonna
that's
get
fine.
second. I'm going with Mo Mora, which is a great back-to-back last name combination. Mo Mora, kind of cool. And then 3 Wilson, and then 4 Hodgkinson. Keeley just hasn't been doing it for me after coming off an incredible Olympic runner-up performance. I expected more of her, and I think she might not medal, which is kind of crazy. But I have this weird feeling that Keely Hodgkinson's not going to medal, get fourth. It's going to be a close fourth, but it'll be kind of wild. She was like out of this mind running last year, and now this year, I mean, she's running 158s and 157s, and it's like she's winning races, but I don't know. I think Mo clearly is a different level. And I think Mora, who's coming off of beating her, and then Ajay Wilson,
I mean,
world indoor champion, you put those 3 and boom, you're fourth.
she's lost one race. Let's calm down about the Keely Hodgkinson panic here. She's lost once.
But
That's
has she
it.
raced Mo?
And no, has Mo raced her? No, I'm not
Has
picking her
she
to beat
raced Ajay
Mo.
Wilson? Has she raced Ajay Wilson?
No, she's been racing Europe.
So then why are you talking about losing one race if she hasn't raced a thing Mo and Ajay Wilson?
Because if she went undefeated, I think you would have had a hard time picking against her because what more can she do? She's just won races and she hasn't run crazy fast, but that's okay. A lot of people haven't run crazy fast this year. I just think more is good. Um, but I'm gonna go Mo, Hodgkinson, Mora. I think Keely gets it back on track. I do think
Fair enough.
though, I do think Mora has the potential, like crazy upset potential. Like she has the biggest variance. Like I think, in a way, I think she has the best chance of upsetting a Thing Mo, but there's also a scenario where she's not on the podium.
Yeah, I can see that. I like that decision. Can this be another running? If Mary Mora beats a Thing Mo,
Mm,
you gotta run all out for 2 minutes.
no, no, I'm not confident in this one at all. I just think it's an interesting dynamic because Mora, switched to the 8 last couple of years, but background in the 4, and she's entered in the, she won the Kenyan championships in both of them. But then you look at her positioning in that race where she beat Hodgkinson, she was a bit kind of all over the place. So I think more races, more reps, she's going to get even better. But if she finds herself in good position, her 400-meter speed is really, really, really good. But Mo obviously has great 400-meter speed as well too. So I'm picking Mo to win, but I just think Mora adds an interesting dynamic to it.
Also, it's kind of interesting looking at the eight, like the birth dates of like this big four up front.
Yeah,
Thing Mo, 2002. Hodgkinson, 2002. Maramora, 2000. And then Ajay Wilson, 1994. Like Ajay Wilson has now become the old one in the
a
room,
veteran.
which is kind of the vet, when for so
Yeah, I
long
remember when
she
she
was
was
like that
coming out
teen
of high school. Yeah,
sensation coming out of high school. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Time goes by so quick. She's gone from the young kid to now like the old one. Kind of wild.
And since she didn't compete in college, it felt like she was like older than she actually was. Like
Yeah.
when she was 20, you're like, is she 25? It's like, nope, she's just been doing this for a couple of
Yep.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't count her out. I think this is a fascinating event, top to bottom. This is going to be one of my favorite events of the entire competition. This women's
I feel like
800
there's a
because
big cutoff after 5.
I don't think so.
I think it's Mo, Mora, Wilson, Hodgkinson, and Rogers. I think after that,
I
it's kind of
I don't know.
no.
That other group's pretty dang good too. I just Yeah, I mean, I guess if you had to draw a line somewhere, it would be at 4 or 5, but there's a lot of talent there who have been running really well on the Diamond League circuit too. So, I don't know. I think
Fair
it's
enough.
that's what makes it fun though. That's what makes I think there's a lot of people who could win bronze, I think. All right. High hurdles and then 4x4. What do you got? The women's 100-meter hurdles, excuse me.
I was thinking Jasmine Camacho Quinn might not have it this year, but now seeing a full regular season under the belt, you got to go with it. I think Camacho Quinn wins. I think Kenny Harrison is the one who has the best chance of beating Camacho Quinn, but I would go with Queen Quinn 1. I'll go Harrison 2. And then I would go with, I think, Toby Amuson. I think Alicia Johnson. I don't know. It just seems kind of wild for her to get a medal in her first like outdoor global championship. I think she's going to make a final. I think she's going to run well, but my vibe is you're going to get fourth. I just had a fourth place vibe for her, which is a great finish, right? Fourth in the world. It's amazing,
Yeah.
especially coming from where she's her progression to where she is now. But I got to go with the more experience. Camacho Quinn 1, Kenny Harrison 2, Toby Amusan 3, and then I think Alicia Johnson 4.
Man, the depth is crazy in this event this year. You look at those season best performances. I know everybody's been looking at that top line number of 1220 in the world record, and can Camacho Quinn get it? But look at all those women. Zoom in on that, Colt. The 12 all the way on the right, the 12 threes down to the 12 fours. No, not the 12 sevens and the 12 eights, Colt. The top. Yeah, zoom in on the top. They go right side. Sorry. Uh, it's just stacked. Well, I meant like just on the numbers, not even on the names. I had it in my mind how it was going to look. It didn't work out. That's okay. We can keep going. Um, there's just not a lot of space separating this, so you could come up with. There it is. Look at those numbers, aren't they amazing? Because it doesn't even matter because they're all so close. It doesn't even matter who the people are associated with them. I would be surprised if Camacho Quinn didn't get a medal. Anybody else though, I wouldn't be surprised. Like it is so tight in those top 4 spots. So it could be a podium that you're not even thinking about. And that comes to fruition. I mean, Tania Marshall's way up there. She didn't even get one of
Tina
those
Marshall's not
top
in
3
the meet.
spots. Yeah. But I'm saying look how high up she is in the rank. I mean, she's so deep
Yeah.
this year. Like you ran that fast and didn't get in the meet. Um so making a pick is tough. I liked Amusan in there too. You have Camacho Quinn, Harrison, Amusan. I'm gonna go
Yes.
Camacho Quinn. I'm gonna mix it up though. Just in the spirit of craziness, I'm gonna go Anderson of Jamaica, and then I'm gonna go Johnson of the U.S.
Wow, no Kenny Harrison.
It's close. I mean, she could win. She'd get fifth. I think you say that about most people in this field. It is that deep. So it would not surprise me if Kenny gets on the podium though. Women's
Fair
four by
enough.
four. Women's 4x4. Okay. Do not have
USA
rankings.
all the way.
USA, USA, USA. US, Jamaica, and then we go Poland. That's how I'm rolling.
Yeah. I don't really have a. It's kind of hard to like predict, right? Because 4x4, you
No,
don't
it's
know who's
not.
going to.
It's actually not hard to predict. It's going to
No,
be the US, Jamaica, and Poland. What do you mean it's hard to pick?
come on, man. I'm trying to give you some. I'm trying to give some good content here. All right. I'm trying to give some conjecture of an analysis of big words, and I'm saying what I'm trying to say is yes, we know USA is going
What?
to win. That's not the question. What I'm saying is you
What's the
don't
question?
know who the entries are going to be. You don't know who's going to run on what leg. You don't know who's going to be 100%, not 100%. It's a very like everything gets put together at the last moment. So it's kind of hard to understand.
Sure.
Like we don't know what truly work. Like is Shawnee Miller Weibo going to run? I don't know. Stuff like that.
Well, you need 4 to win, not just one.
That's true.
Does
You do
Bahamas
need
have its?
four.
Does Bahamas
Hence
have
the
it?
word 4x4.
Yeah, Bahamas is entered in here. U.S., Jamaica, Great Britain, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, South Africa, Italy, Germany, Spain, Canada, Belgium, Ukraine, France, Switzerland, Bahamas. Listen, do you know who has the most 400 depth in the world right now?
Jamaica?
Yeah, and they're also pretty deep in the 4 meter hurdles. Now, I don't think they have enough depth to overcome the U.S. Once the U.S. if they put Mo in there, I mean, McLaughlin,
Sydney.
et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, they got a lot of options. Wilson, Steiner, but they're really deep. They're going to give the U.S. a solid run. And then I think Poland they got at least 2 finalists
I feel like
for the open 4.
Poland always finds a way to be in every relay.
Yeah.
Whether it's men's or women's 4x4s, mixed 4x4, 4x1s. I'm always like, Poland. They just
Yeah.
they have a knack for just being in it in relays at world championships and at world relays.
Yep, 100%. So is that your pick for bronze? Are you going the same with me?
Yeah, why not? Let's end
US
on a good note. Let's agree on the final note.
US, Jamaica, and Poland. That's the top 3. All right. Well, we didn't do the marathon. We can do that later. And we didn't do the field events yet. We can do that later. Maybe we can jam that into Wednesday's show because we won't have breaking Oregon news to discuss.
Sure, let's
Or
do
maybe
that.
we
We'll
will.
add those two. Yeah, we might. It'll be another
Another big pod.
big pod.
Shout out to Colt. Great producing, Colt. Really well done today.
And
Thank
we have
you.
a new we have another producer. His name's Johnny. Do we have the photo of him
Shout out
at
to
Summer
Johnny.
League?
Yeah, so Johnny was at Summer League because he's a multi-talented content creator. So I mean that was pretty cool. He was at Summer League.
Yeah,
First of
we have a
all,
photo of him at
yep.
Summer League.
This is
Check this
not.
out.
Some of you guys might have seen this. LeBron James went viral for bringing his own snacks. We believe that's Johnny's right arm right there with the orange band around it, but he denies it. But he said he was at Summer League, so I just put 2 and 2 together, and there he was.
That looks like his wrist. I don't know. That looks like a.
I've never seen him in real life. I haven't seen him in real life, so I
I've
don't
seen him
know.
in real life, and he put his arm up, and it kind of matches. If you do like a deep dive into the analysis of the wrist,
Well, you've
like
seen him
that
in real
is
life?
Look at that wrist. Look at that wrist. The orange band. Yeah. That
Content.
looks less and less like an arm when you zoom in on it. It just looks like a weird painting. Anyway, Johnny,
Hold on.
welcome.
You've
What?
seen him in real life? You haven't even seen Colt in real life. What do you mean?
What do you mean? No,
Oh, you
not
mean on the
in
computer?
person, on the video. That's real life. Is
Gotcha.
seeing someone on video not seeing him in real life anymore?
I don't know. Colt, what do you think? Need a ruling on that?
I guess no. No, I guess no. That doesn't count.
I guess it doesn't count. All right, so I haven't
So
seen
you
him in
haven't
real life.
seen
So you might not be
or
wrong.
Colt?
Might be talking to a simulation.
Could be.
Colt, what would it take for you to hang out with Gordon, like in real life?
I don't think it'd take anything. I'd go hang out with Gordon whenever. Yeah.
Really?
Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
maybe wait till COVID gets a little bit less scary in the current days,
Okay.
but we'll see. I'd go hang out with Gordon.
All
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Colt thinks I'm a COVID vessel. Thinks I'm just spraying
I
it
think,
everywhere.
yes, yeah. I think Gordon has the new variant.
Gordon's
He's
a-
keeping it just for himself.
Gordon's a very social guy these days, so it's hard to get on his schedule, but maybe when he gets back.
Yeah, have your
I don't
people
know.
talk to
You're
my
all-
people. Right?
Yeah. He's like, I got nothing to do, and then you see him on like Instagram, like with 10,000 people on a river somewhere. It's incredible.
Yeah, dude. Floating in Texas is a different world now. There's literally
What
10,000
happened?
people on the one river.
When did that start?
Colt, bring up my Instagram, most recent video on my Instagram.
Colt, definitely
There's-
bring up Gordon's Instagram.
It was weird. It was basically there's the river and it's wide, but then they make everyone go through one tube length of a like a area. So we all just get
By the way, this looks
traffic
awful
jammed,
to me.
and
Just
we're
want
all
to say this
stuck
looks
there,
terrible.
just surrounded in giant tubes, like nowhere to go, and you just have to wait. It's like it felt like we were on a Disney park ride. You just had to wait, but it was
But
fun.
like, when did this? Has this always been this popular?
Yeah, it's the float
It has?
capital of the
Okay.
world. It's the float capital of the world.
I've just seen more pictures, I guess, this year. Okay.
And another thing, if you keep scrolling through to keep going, no, through that thing, Bolt, right? Keep going. There. So go back.
Jeez.
So I'm not sure if you know this, but in my dunking project, I cut up in my shin because I missed on a box jump. It was pretty bad, and so I got a giant gash on my shin from failing on a box jump. So I covered it in wrapping paper or whatever to try to not let it get wet, so no like water gets in, and
heal?
it didn't work. It did not work at all. The thing filled up with water right away. So this is me trying to take care of my cut from dunking training.
Did
I'll
you
get
think
there.
about-
I'll get there.
Does Johnny know about your goal since he's a hoops guy? Did you tell
I'm
him
not
your
sure if I
goal?
told Johnny
Big
yet
dunk?
that I want to dunk. He probably would laugh at me, but only the podcast community knows about the dunking right now.
All right, we're
So
gonna
people
we're
won't
gonna
tell.
we're gonna have him weigh in on Wednesday whether or not he thinks you're a dunker based on
Okay,
all the
fair
he's
enough.
seen a lot. He's seen a lot of dunks. He's been around the game.
That's true.
All right. Email address is FloTrackPodcast@gmail.com. Wednesday, 9 a.m. Central. We will run through the men's picks, preview all the events. Yeah, we'll do the field events. We'll do the women's marathon too because we didn't get to that today. I got all the rankings up on the site. They've been properly formatted for the running events, so be sure to check those out. Gordon's gonna be doing stuff, so check that out. I'm not sure what, but we're excited. We're excited to bring you in-person coverage from the World Athletics Championships in Eugene, Oregon, coming up on Friday. I can't believe it.
It's here. All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you Wednesday.